All right, welcome to week 11 edition, the wrap-up edition of Around the MLS show with Sam and Chris right here on Africa Sports Network. Yes, no more unbeaten team and no more winless team in the MLS this season because LAFC fell at PayPal Park against San Jose. They lost 2-1. Sporting Kansas won their first 3 points of the season with a 2-1 away win at Seattle Sounders. What a way to announce your first win of the season. Houston Dynamo still unbeaten at home after a goalless draw against Real Salt Lake, and FC Cincinnati is still unbeaten at home. So now what we might be expecting is to end the home unbeaten run. 38 goals scored in MLS this week 11, 3 away wins, and now 2 teams have fired their coach. I'm talking about Red Bulls of New York and Chicago Fire their coach. Yes. Welcome, Chris, to this wrap-up edition, week number 11. What did week 11 taught you as a soccer guy when you look at what transpired in both East and Western Conference?
Well, I learned a lot. Like week in, week out, we learn new things. This week was just an amazing week to witness 38 goals being scored, and also the kind of players that came back that we have written off for a while, but came back, and that goes to no one but Jose Martinez, that plays for Inter Miami. You know, he played against his old team, Atlanta United. Jose Martinez has been a great player in this club, in MLS as a whole for a while, but due to some injuries for some period, have been struggling to get his feet back in scoring. But he did that with style against his former team, Atlanta United, coming in at the 56th minute of the game when the game was still 0-0 to score 2 goals, and he now became the fastest man to score 100 goals in the MLS due to, I think, 142 games in total, 140 games, I think. So it just was an amazing week to watch history. And back to the other team, the games we talked about, the game with Hector Mukhtar versus Kai Kamara, Chicago Fires, and Nashville. And Hector Mukhtar, as usual, delivered and finishing that game with a hat-trick, being the man of the match.
I mean, talking about Hector Mukhtar, I'm still wondering what he's still doing in the MLS. I'm not saying that he's above the league, but his stellar performance, season in, season out, should have earned a lot of interest from Europe. Look at last season, he scored double-digit goal. He's the MVP. Season before last, he narrowly missed out on the MVP run to Tate Casillas of New York City Football Club, who's in Girona right now. So Hector Mukhtar has been delivering for Nashville since he arrived from Brøndby in the Danish Super League. So even though, he's the MVP, he showed why he's the MVP. And in their week 10 game, the 3 goals they scored against, I think, Atlanta United, has his signature on all of them. So now in week 11, he now provided a hat-trick of goals for Nashville as they are powering strong in the Eastern Conference. Yes, Hector Mukhtar, great player, great player for Nashville Soccer Club. Now, talking about Chicago Fire, they just let their coach leave, Ezra Hendrickson, after the team is rooted, I think, 13th in the Eastern Conference. But people are saying, how are you going to fire the coach when your DPs are not, producing? Xherdan Shaqiri, yet to go this season for Chicago Fire. I think six games played for Chicago Fire, only 4 starts. I mean, Chris,
Shaqiri, just my thought. I think Shaqiri coming to this league, even having played for top teams like Liverpool and your lives, I think Shaqiri coming to this league, maybe he thought it was going to be easy for him to play, and maybe he was not. No, for real, because Shaqiri doesn't, anytime he starts for Chicago Fire, they lose the game. Check it out. Anytime he starts, the team loses. So there's something fundamentally wrong about the way Shaqiri plays. He's not just playing well. He's one of the worst buys I think that DP spot has been wasted by Shaqiri because
I think
since he came to Chicago Fire, he hasn't done anything tangible to prove his worth as a top player that he's supposed to be. Signing Shaqiri is supposed to be the leader of that team, to push the team forward, to win, not just win the league, but at least make a team be able to compete with other teams. But he's just neither here nor there. Anytime he plays or he starts, they lose. I think there's something wrong with him, man. He's not good enough for the team. They need to let him go, as far as I'm concerned.
With his wealth of experience, everyone expected that from Xherdan Shaqiri. Just like you said, was he thinking that MLS is going to be like a walk in the park for him?
Yeah, I think so. I think he thought so. He thought it was going to be very easy for him. Easy league. I'll go rule the league as a king and go. Even Zlatan came to this league and couldn't rule the league. MLS is a very people don't understand how the MLS works. It's not like any other regular league. It looks easy from the outside, but it's not as easy as it looks. It has its own dynamic way of how things work. You can't just come and be the king like that. You need to work hard to put yourself in that position. And players that work hard have not underrated the league, underrated the players. They are the ones that come and do well in the league. But when you come and underrate the league and underrate the players, you're bound to fail. And Shaqiri is one of those people that I think thought maybe this league was super easy, and he's failing right now. I think Chicago Fire should let him go.
Chicago Fire, 10 games played, won only 2, 5 draws, 3 losses, 14th in the Eastern Conference, and they have won only 20% of their games, conceded 16 goals in 10 games, only 1 clean sheet in the last couple of games, 1.6 game, 3 penalties conceded. When you talk about Shaqiri and look at the numbers that he produced, he sucks when it comes to his ball distribution. 75% ball distribution. When you look at the wealth of experience that he carries, having played for Bayern Munich, Liverpool, FC Basel, you expect more from Xherdan Shaqiri contributing to Chicago Fire, but he is not. And now the coach is the one who's bearing the brunt. Yes, the buck stop on their table. When the team win games, they get the applause. When the team suck, they also get the chop. So Ezra Hendrickson is got a job at Chicago Fire, relieve him of his duties alongside his assistant and coach, what he did in the MLS. Now let's go to Sporting Kansas before I talk about Houston Dynamo. Because during our week 11 preview, we spoke about Sporting Kansas. Even when the captain Johnny Russell was asked when they lost to, I think, CF de Montreal, how they're gonna fix that, he was like, "I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to fix this." And in that game against Seattle Sounders, this was a Seattle Sounders that had been scoring goals for fun. They beat Sporting Kansas 4-1 at Children's Macy's Park early in the season. So, even though people knows what Peter Vermeer, the coach of Sporting Kansas, is capable of, but they have been underperforming in more than recent games. And I can't believe that people even gave them chance to win at Sporting Kansas at Seattle. And they went there. They were 2-1 up. They were 2-0 up before Seattle came and just put one back. So Sporting Kansas, against all odds, picked their first win of the season on the road. And they are coming to Houston tomorrow, being Wednesday for the US Open Cup, which I spoke to Ben Olsen about that game and other things. I will play that interview here for our fans and viewers to watch and listen to. So they are coming to Houston for the US Open Cup that will take place here at the Shell in the stadium tomorrow. But they got their first win on the road, and they are buzzing with full confidence coming to Houston. Chris, what do you make of Sporting Kansas' performance in Week 11?
Well, I'm very excited for Sporting Kansas because the game against Seattle Sounders, it was not easy, And I keep on saying this week in, week out that Sporting Kansas always play very good, but end up losing the game. So it was not like the team was bad. It was finding the difference to win instead of losing. And that's what they did in this game. So kudos to the coach of Sporting Kansas for him to finally get that missing link and get that victory. It's their first victory this season, but the team has always played good. The team has all just struggled to score or perform in the league.
Yeah, without their Nigerian strike, I'm talking about William Agada, who is out for over 12 weeks and who will be out for over 12 weeks due to injury, and he had a great successful surgery, and he's now in recovery. So he is not even part of the team, but the team got the job done at Seattle Sounders, and I will chat him up to see. I know he will be very happy with that result. Sporting Kansas, against all odds, got the job done. Now, let's go to the game between the Houston Dynamo and Real Salt Lake. We'll be right back for this time out. welcome back to Around the MLS show with Sam alongside Chris here on Africa Sports Network. You can be wondering how you can be part of this program. If you love what we do here, you want to be part of this program, just DM us on our social media platforms. Go to my handle, is right there on my name tag, on Chris' handle. DM us. You can be part of this wonderful show that, you know, takes you on a jolly ride around the world of the Major League Soccer. So, Chris, Houston Dynamo unbeaten at home, but they are not scoring goals. You know, against Real Salt Lake, yeah, they had a couple of chances to finish up that game, but they couldn't really get that final third, and they ended up with, you know, sharing the spoils. Remember that they are yet to beat Real Salt Lake in 10 games and now 11 games, and Real Salt Lake are yet to win here in Houston for, you know, for a little bit of time, because I spoke to one of their fans, you know, during halftime of that game, which I'm going to play what the fan told me, you know, prior to the second 45 minutes of that encounter. So looking at Houston Dynamo, Chris, you know, what really is going on with that team in terms of creating chances and finishing their chances?
Well, you need to give credit to Ben Olsen first. Kudos to Ben Olsen. He's been able to, under a short time, bring a group of boys together that are performing. You need to see the way Dynamo for the first time are playing swaggerlicious football, sweet playing football, passes, dribbles. Yeah, swaggerlicious football.
All right,
so kudos to Ben Olsen for bringing that joy back to Houston, to finally see the team playing well. But the issue, like you said before, is scoring. They have a problem scoring. That's because they don't have an out-and-out attacker 9 that's in that game. So hopefully the Nigerian that was signed will be able to, you know, make the difference by scoring goals, because so far so good. Look at the last game they played against the Stacks. Dynamo has 61 ball possession as against 39 ball possession to Real Salt Lake. So tell you that Dynamo dominated that game from the beginning to the end. You know, though they had 16 shots on goals, they had only 4 shots on target, but nothing. They couldn't make it count, and that's where the striker is needed. So I think Ben Olsen knows what he wants. That's why he went for the Nigerian. And I think hopefully the Nigerian is ready to play in the next game with 12. And maybe that difference, that might just make the difference for the striker to score goals. Once Dynamo can start scoring goals, Dynamo will be a totally different team. But the way they are playing presently, they're playing very good. I'm very impressed with their playing, the way they play right now.
Yeah, some fan call Benny Ball. I call it Olsen Ball. You know, where he's making use of his wingers to see how he can break a team down, both his you know, wing back players. But at the end of the day, like you say, you need an out-and-out striker. And yeah, yesterday I caught up with Nigerian dude, my countryman, Aliyu Bravo. That should be his social media handle, Aliyu Ibrahim. Yeah, I had a one-on-one chat with him. I'm going to play that interview on the show right here. And also he, yeah, you know, caught some pictures of him doing stuff, you know. So I'm going to put those videos and those pictures and everything about Aliyu Ibrahim first day at Houston Dynamo. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be a very interesting one. Yes, and Dynamo, when you look at how they have been playing this season, like you said, 9 games, they've won 4, and those 4 wins all at the Shell Energy Stadium. 2 draws, 3 losses, 44.4% of their games they've won. And when they are insist in the Western Conference, not doing bad, even though Western Conference, you know, is a little bit of a high-paced conference. But now he is giving those players belief that they can make the postseason. You know, when you look at their shot on target, 35 shots on target, they're only able to score 10 goals out of 35 shots on target. And that is average of 81 minutes they get their goal, and 13.9% conversion rate. So for you to really, you know, make a run for these elusive postseason ticket that have eluded this team for a long run, they need to finish the chance. And he said that during the, you know, Sporting Kansas US Open Cup match conference that he had with some journalists at the Houston Sports Park. This is Ben Olsen talking about that game against Sporting Kansas tomorrow, and also their, you know, game against Real Salt Lake. I'm going to ask him some questions on this, Ben Olsen.
You know, today was in a group setting. It's mostly about Kansas City and, you know, preparing a group to advance in the Open Cup. But of course, we still need to review the weekend, make sure we're getting better, and we're still working on some of the things that haunted us on the weekend, in particular some of the offensive stuff that continues to be a little bit of a concern. But the defensive side on the weekend was very good. Even watching it back, I thought it was even better than in real time. So again, another shutout at home. It's 4 or 5 in a row. This is pretty impressive. So we need to continue with that mindset, and then also clean up some of the final third stuff that didn't allow us to get the 3 points. So that will be the focus behind the scenes, but again, of course, with today and tomorrow prepping for a team that is hungry and had a really good performance on the weekend against Seattle, and of course with a longer eye on Seattle coming to town. So it's a busy week, and we'll be in the office making sure that these guys are prepared for both Wednesday and the coming game again.
Right, that was Ben Olsen. He acknowledged the fact that they've been working on some specific strategic attacking format from the day one he entered this club. But just that it's taking a little bit longer for everything to start working out. That's what he said. So let's hope against Sporting Kansas, just like he said, depth in squad is good for him. It will give him chance to try other players who haven't made their MLS debut or haven't had time to play in the MLS. So US Open Cup is a competition that gives teams room for them to, look at other players and how they can contribute to the team's success overall. All right, and let's go to the Nigerian boy. Yes, Ali Ibrahim. I spoke to him. This is Ali Ibrahim. Talk to him right now. Ali.
Yeah, Ali, welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Sam.
Nice to meet you.
From Nigeria, Africa Sports Network.
Good. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Houston. When you heard about this team interest coming for you, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm happy because it's a big club here in MLS. I'm very happy to be here.
Do you know Sanusi Ibrahim that played for CFD Montreal? When you were in the 20, he was in the 23. Did you speak to him when you heard about coming to the MLS?
I know him. He's from my city.
From Kano, right?
Yeah, so I tried to reach him, but unfortunately I couldn't reach him. But I know maybe when we play against each other, yeah.
Your first training section, tell us a little bit about it with what you used to have in Croatia.
Yeah, it's almost similar training. Everything is the same. I feel good in the training. I like the training, everything here. Yeah, of course. I'm here to give everything, to give my best, and of course to score some goals.
Yeah, even though we came from Nigeria, the tropics, you've been in Croatia and Europe. It's a little bit colder than here in Houston, compared to the two weather.
Of course, it is. It's very cold in Croatia, but here it's pretty hot. Yeah, so
are you looking forward to making your debut for this team?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to make my debut here. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Houston, Ali.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
When you look at Ali Ibrahim, even though he's a little bit media shy, you can see he's a little media shy, I don't blame him. I asked him, because this Nigerian guy playing for CFD Montreal, Sanusi Ibrahim, when Ali was in the under-20s with the Flying Eagles, Sanusi Ibrahim was with the Dream Team, the U23. So I asked him, he has been in the ML before you. Did you speak to him when you got this offer? He said, yeah, he tried speaking to him, but he wasn't able to, communicate with him. He didn't pick up his call. He didn't respond to his messages. I don't know why, but I believe, they will get to eyeball each other when Houston Dynamo will play CFD Montreal. So, Chris, two teams, like I said earlier, fired their coaches. Chicago Fire, now New York Red Bulls. I mean, isn't that too early for teams to start going towards that direction?
Well, I don't think it's too early though. The league has gone halfway already, and if the fans are not impressed with the performance of the coaches, they need to let them go, because now the league is no more a retirement league anymore. It's becoming very competitive. People have a lot of stakes in the league now, in the teams and also in the games. So if you're not performing, there's no reason why you should be there. Everybody wants their team to be top tier. So if you can be on top, you got to do something about it. And I think that's why they let him go.
Just like that, just let him go. Yeah, and also this dude, Dynamo defender from Zimbabwe, Teenage Hadebe, is injured. That's why he missed that game against Real Salt Lake. I think he should out for like 8 to 12 weeks,
That's a big blow for Dynamo, because Teenage Radebe is a very important player in that team. The way he defends, the way he gives a long ball from defense to attack, is someone that they're missing so bad already. I just wish him speedy recovery so that he can get back to his feet and back to doing what he does best, playing for Houston Dynamo.
So, Teenage Hadebe, you heard that from the crew right here on Africa Sports Network. We're wishing you speedy recovery, mate. Even though I tweeted at him and he retweeted, he's a great buddy of mine. We catch up on social media. It's Around the MLS show with Sam and Chris on Africa Sports. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the show continues. It's halftime here at the Shell Energy Stadium. ROSL and Houston Dynamo still go, let's draw. And this is a ROSL fan. Tell us, what is your perception about your team tonight?
I think we kind of a slower start. Dynamo were scary to begin with, and we started getting some chances later on. With RSL, you got to be careful. The later the game gets, that's when they're the most scary. Those last.
Welcome back to the program. This is still Around the MLS show with Sam and Chris right here on Africa Sports Network. Chris.
I know what that smile is all about. I know what that smile is all about. You're about to tease me now. It's football. Things happen anytime, any day. You can't win. You can't win all the time. Come on now. You can't win all the time.
And I think San Jose Earthquake is really, really improving. They are calling a resurgent San Jose Earthquake. I think LAFC should have lost that game against Nashville, but they held on. As a big team they held on. Now, they went ahead, in the Champions League, made the finals, and now they went to their state rivals. I'm talking about San Jose. They are still Californian teams. I think San Jose.
Yeah.
Not California, right?
No. It's on the other side, but on the other side though.
Yeah, so San Jose, and they thought it's gonna be LAFC, Carlos Vela.
No, but no. But you understand something. It's like, see, if you check from time, right? San Jose has always been a difficult team for LAFC to beat, right from time, season in, season out. It's one of those rivalry that you can't really place, because the LAFC have not been able to still figure out how to beat them. It's a ground that will struggle all the time. But notwithstanding, kudos to Luchi Gonzalez, the coach of San Jose, for pulling that amazing defeat on LAFC, making their first defeat of the season. And also kudos to Espinosa, the striker that scored two goals. That scored the 2 goals that sunk LAFC. But we'll be back better and stronger. That's for sure about that. We don't take things like that lightly. We compete to the end, and we'll be back. One of those days, one defeat doesn't make you out of the title race. So we're still good and strong.
No, it doesn't really make out of the title race, but when you look at the numbers that game directed, shot on target, goals 2-1, shot on target, LAFC had 7. That means that they put San Jose they really pressed them really hard. But San Jose held on with only 3 shots on target, and they converted 2. Now San Jose is more clinical and more conservative with their shot on target, and they made use of it. Off target.
But remember, one of those goals was a penalty though. So remember,
pressure bring penalty. I gotta be able to pressure you, bring the ball inside your goal area, cause panic for your players to commit that penalty.
But that penalty, do you think that was a real? Did you see the game? That penalty was too soft. I don't think that was a real penalty. It was just a little touch on the side, and you see that's why I still struggle with this VAR thing, because even with VAR ref still happen to make the wrong call. It's like once they make up their mind after they make a call, the VAR ref try to, align with the ref on the center ref to make his call correct. Because that was the very soft touch. But even after the VAR, he called it a penalty. Well, we'll talk about that another day.
I understand, but at the end of the day, you don't see. I always say this on the show, that do not give the referee that opportunity to have a double, to make a decision. Were you the last guy inside the box? Yes. Once you're inside an 18-yard box, any contact will have the ref think twice about it. And most often than not, when the ref goes down to the pitch side monitor to the VAR, they always change the field decision. Yes. Because now they have to play it in slow-mo several times to see was there contact, what really happened. They come back. That is.
In fact, once there's any contact, there's any slight contact at all, most times they call it a penalty. So it happens. One of those unfortunate days, but it's okay.
It's okay. FC Cincinnati still top powering strong in the Eastern Conference with New England Revolution. Both of them tied on the same point, 24 points. And only goal difference separate both of them. FC Cincinnati strong at home, beat DC 2-1. Luciano Acosta and Alvaro Barriel. Barriel has been signed to Udinese. He will still be with FC Cincinnati till the summer. And he's a very vital player for FC Cincinnati. Going to be a big blow for FC Cincinnati. Obina Mobodo still with the team, powering strong with that theme. And Eastern Conference look formidable. New England Revolution got an away win, 2-0 away. I was thinking they're going to drop a point there, in that game, but they got a 2-1 away win. And
why would you think they'll drop a point? Because New England Revolution is they are the best in the Eastern Conference, season in, season out.
Bruce
They've always been top 3.
Bruce Arena is a great tactician.
Yeah, he's as far as I'm concerned, Bruce Arena is the best coach to ever come out of from North America. He's been consistent even with the national team, and now New England Revolution is. Yeah, but
you gotta look at the coach he was coming up against, Bob Bradley, also a great mind when it comes to this game.
Yes. Two legends.
That was what I was expecting. Okay, coming against Bob Bradley, you have a Toronto FC, Lorenzo Insigne, the Italian player, still with the team. So I was looking at it from that point of view that Bob Bradley, great coach. Look at what we do with LAFC when we with LAFC. So I already said, okay, they might share the sport. And Toronto at home, at the BMO. So I wasn't wrong to have called that game maybe a draw for New England, but they had some up their sleeve and they got 3 points. Because I was thinking that would be the game that would determine who now, top the Eastern Conference clearly on point. No more on goal difference. Because I know that FC Cincinnati at home, a very good team at home, they have not lost at the TQL. They have not,
Yeah.
So what a great game that was this week 11. So week 11, done and dusted. The dust is still sitting a little bit. Look at the dynamics of both conference and tables. What did you learn from week 8? Week 11, beg your pardon.
No, it's full of drama, excitement, and happiness. Like I said earlier, I was especially more happy for just Josef Martinez. I'm a fan. I really like the way he plays. Especially in his first 2 seasons for Atlanta United, he was scoring goals like he was having fun. I was even surprised he even is still in the MLS right now. I thought he was going to be going to Europe to play in a bigger team. But, I'm happy after injuries, his back is fit. Is back to scoring. So, it's been interesting to watch 38 goals scored in the league. It shows that the league is powering stronger week in, week out. We can't do but hope for the best and see what week 12 brings. Another drama again when we look forward to next weekend and futures.
All right, I hope for the best in week 12, but midweek is the US Open Cup. So which of the games are you most excited to see? I'm gonna track the Houston Dynamo and Sporting Kansas, because Sporting Kansas will be bought with a lot of confidence coming from their 2-1 away win at the Lumen Field, and Dynamo also great formidable team at home, want to defend the home turf. They call it Hell in the Shell Stadium. All right, so we look at the conference, East and West. Only 2 Texas teams are in that playoff threshold. FC Dallas, even though their game was abandoned, during the week against, I think,
St. Louis, due to thunderstorm.
Yeah, thunderstorm, but they are still 5th in the Western Conference, 15 points from 10 games. Dynamo, 14 points from 9 games. They still have a game at hand. So both conferences produce spectacular matchups. These on week 11. I'm looking forward to week 12. So finally, Chris, before we wrap up, what's your last word?
My last word is I'm looking forward to week 12, another week of action. And we'll be back here again to talk about it before the game starts.
Yes, we'll be back here to talk about week 12 and all the shenanigans that goes on week 12. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media. From bros, no face. Now beg at the beg. I'm gonna follow us. I'm gonna subscribe now. You know, pass like that. Nobody say you go pay money. You know, understand? Before they enjoy the scene from this, the Sam and Chris right here on Around the MLS show on Africa Sports Talk. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Bye for now.